All right, we're back for another battle report here. So, testing out a list for an upcoming tournament. The Salamanders have been gracious enough to throw together a nice list to give me some practice, and then we're going to help work out the kinks and see if this should be anything swapped out. So, going to be a great game, I hope. So, for me, it's 2,000 points. This is a battalion of Leviathan. I'm not sure if I wanted to go Leviathan or Kraken. We're going to try Leviathan out. I was debating on Kraken for the speed, but Leviathan's going to help give me that little extra turn 1 survivability with all the synapse provided in the list. So tiny bit of proxying as I'm working on finishing up the modeling, but my Hive Tyrant here has the double Devourers. I do have the Monstrous Running Claws being modeled right now, and I'm going to magnetize this Tyrant because he looks awesome. So he has 2 sets of Monstrous Running Claws, Adrenal Glands, Wings, Murderous Size. I also brought the Reasonance Barb on him as well. He has Catalyst, Psychic Scream, and then obviously Smite. Swarmlord is here as well with the Onslaught and Catalyst for his powers. A lone Neurothrope with Catalyst as his power, just really making sure I have loads of Catalyst available. Dimmacaran in the fastest attack slot. I have 6 Zoanthropes with Psychic Scream as their secondary power. I have 2 sets of warriors, just minimum size. They have double scything talons as their weapons. I'm actually working on 6 warriors right now. They just need their bases painted, so these will be proxied in for that. 2 units of 10 Termagants, and then the Chronos Patrol with 3 Rippers, Neurothrope with Symbiostorm, Lictor, 5 Hive Guard, Exocrine with Dermic Symbiosis, and 3 Biowars. I'm going to see how they do. They're pretty much the one unit that we're going to kind of determine here, are they worth their points for this style of list. So really hoping to see a good performance out of them. But that is 2,000 points of Tyranids. Oh, and also, just for reference, he is the Warlord.
All right, we got 2,000 points of Salamanders. Running in my HQ slot. I got some new models, so we'll see how they work out. I got a Gravis Captain, and he's got the Burning Blade relic, I think. The Salamander Power Sword. Also have a new model for my Lieutenant, who's running the Teeth of Terra and a Plasma Pistol. So we'll see how he does, considering it's a new model. And I got a Vindicare Assassin in my Agency Imperium slot. For my troops, I have a 10-man squad of Intercessors with the Autobolt Rifles, second squad of Intercessors with the Autobolt Rifles, 5-man squad of Assault Intercessors. They probably won't be doing a ton, maybe holding an objective or 2. We'll see how they go. In my elites, I've got my Flamestorm Aggressors. I have my Blade Guard Veterans and my Blade Guard Ancient, or Company Ancient, whatever you want to call them. And moving over here, in the very back, following up with the elites, I have 3 Dreadnoughts. One's running Twin Las Cannon, one's running Heavy Plasma, one's running Auto Bolter, and all of them with their Heavy Flamers. For my heavy slots, I got a 5-man squad of Hellblasters. 2 of those guys are proxied. And then I got my 3-man Eradicators. And last but not least, my 4 Las Cannon Predator. That's 2,000 points, Salamanders.
All right, everyone, here is the table we're playing on today. We're playing the Retrieval Mission from the GT 2020 mission pack. So a total of 6 objectives altogether. Deployment zones are, I think it's 12 inches from the middle, right? Yes. I forgot to mark them, but yeah, 12 inches from the center back. So roughly something like that, on that side. So looking at the objectives, we have 1 in this deployment zone, another here. Moving across the table, we have another one here, another one here, one over here. And lastly, circling around back over there. So for secondaries, I took Engage, Scramblers, and Ritual for the Tyranids. Salamander shows Abhor the Witch, Bring It Down, and Grind them down. So lots of incentive to kill my stuff. So we'll roll up, find out who gets to pick deployment zones, 4 to 6. We'll come back after that and see what the table looks like. All right, folks, so we gone ahead and deployed. Salamanders chose that end. So it was we both actually talked it over. It was really interesting because I don't think either side benefited the other more benefited. One side didn't benefit more than the other, so it was really interesting looking at it. So it should be a great game. For me, I got my Exocrine up forward here with my Dimma, my Swarmlord, Zoanthropes, Hive Tyrant, Hive Guard are tucked in inside this thing here. Got my 1 unit of Warriors, the Neuro for Kronos, Gaunts, Bivores, Gaunts, Warriors, Tyrant, and the other Neurothrope just stalking right there back to the wall. And then over here we got a Dreadnought, a whole bunch of Intercessors, lots of them. Another Dreadnought, Blade Guard, Lieutenant, right there. Ancient Aggressors, and I think that's it for right in there. Yes, more Intercessors over there. A Predator, Captain, and the Hellblasters on that side. And then, and the Assault Intercessors back here doing literally exactly what he said they would do. Hold an objective and sit there. So then the Eradicators are in Strategic Reserve, along with the Dreadnought, and the Assassin is doing his, what's it called? Yeah, he's appearing. He's going to appear in the game. So let's find out who's taking first turn in this battle.
4 and 4.
4 and 4, all right. We'll re-roll here. 4, it is 6. So Salamanders, once again, I cannot go first if I ever play Salamanders. Oh, it's okay though. Honestly, I don't think first turn is going to be too major. So he wanted me to go first actually. So so he has lots more to shoot. We'll come back after turn 1 moving. Movement done for the Salamanders, so hoping some big things come out here. Dreadnoughts just move forward just to get a couple angles on a few different things. Over this way, the Intercessors move forward and advanced, and the Predator moved forward as well, just advancing enough to get the Predator with some line of sight across. It's going to be -1 to shoot, though, through this piece of terrain here. That's pretty much it for moving. Well, actually, no, over on here, the Hellblasters advance with the Gravis guy, and then into the middle, everyone just moved forward. So that's it. We'll come back after shooting. All right, that ends shooting phase. So not bad. Chipped the Swarmlord down 3 wounds from that Plaz Dread with his single shot that he got on his D3, but it did his job. This Tyrant lost a wound and lost 4 Gaunts over here from split firing from them. That's it for turn 1 for the Salamanders. No points scored, nothing for grind it down, so I don't need to worry about denying that. So, I mean, ideally I'm going to kill stuff, but it's not as stressful yet. So that's it. We'll come back after Tyranids turn 1. That's movement done for the Tyranids. So over this way, Dimma leaped forward. It's got a 5-inch charge at that Dreadnought. The Exocrine moved up. He is fully in. We just agreed that it's slightly off. That tanks and stuff can move through that, so we could just fix that. But that was agreed upon before the game. So he does have line of sight to one of the Blade Guard. The Tyrant jumped here. He's within 6 of the Swarmlord. The Swarmlord came enough that he can smite into the Dreadnought. Zoanthropes, these guys are all on the bottom floor. There is space under there with the Neurothrope right in the middle, protected, and he is within 6 of the middle. Warriors move forward over here. Overdrive that unit of Gaunts to come out. They moved in advance up enough that the Hellblasters can't possibly move forward this way and get line of sight into these Warriors. So it's only that group of Intercessors right there that can possibly move forward towards this objective. Bivores moved to have -1 to shoot, and they are also outside of the Kronos range for that to get the hit bonus, but they moved. Yeah, what am I saying? But yeah, I completely nulled out, so nothing can come in that's threatening. These Gaunts moved over, Warriors moved and scrambled. That Neurothrope stayed still right there with these Warriors, and that is it. So we'll come back after shooting. Psychic and shooting. Lots of psychic. So that ends shooting. So pretty decent. Killed off the Blade Guard and all but 1 aggressor with double tapping from the Hive Guard. The -1 to shooting really hurt me there, but Symbiote Storm saving me. With all the smites from everything right here, killed off that Dreadnought pretty handily. Catalyst also went off on that guy. I'm down to 4 CP, so the story with CP is I spent 2 on Pathogenic Slime, 1 for him to stay still, and then I spent 2 more for the Hive Guard to double tap because I only killed off an aggressor and a half with the first volley and then killed all but down to 1 wound with the other one. Then over this way, Spore Mines were shot, hit these guys to block them in and make sure they don't get overly close to my Warriors. I also have another plan in place to help keep them back and secure that objective on my front. So that's it. We'll come back after all the charges. So charge is going to go down. This Dimmacaron's going for this guy. And obviously my Hive Tyrant is charging the Predator. That's it. So we'll come back after that. All right, so that is Tyranid's turn done. So the Dimma came in, wiped out the Dreadnought pretty handedly, and then leaped over here to force the Eradicators to have to come in here if they want to shoot him, or the Dreadnought can go for a crazy, I think 12-inch charge-ish, something like that. Or the Eradicators can come over here. The way I positioned him, the Exocrine positions him enough that he's going to have to choose between the Dimma and them for the Eradicators. Tyrant, charging at the tank. These guys born protected in the Hellblasters. Doing a wound, or sorry, no wounds to the Tyrant on the Overwatch, and then doing a single wound to him in combat. Drop the tank down to 5 wounds due to some poor rolling with the wound rolls from the Tyrant. But that's it. So scoring 3 for engage. A ritual is done. Neutral zone scanner is, or sorry, my zone scanner is done, and we will now move into Salamanders. Turn 2. All right, so, oh, yeah, you can go ahead and move there. I'll just walk through over here. Dreadnought arrived here. The Intercessors moved up to grab that objective. 10 points scored for the Salamanders. These guys came back here to take care of the Dimma and ensure that he doesn't leap around, because if he does get back there, he'll have nothing to stop it. So double insurance policy, plus these guys moving up, this guy coming over. So really making sure that the Dimma dies. So a lot of focus being given to him, which is good for me. The Tyrant, it's just everyone staying in combat. He's going to take the shots with the tank and see what happens. These guys just moved forward, ready to clear off the screen, and the Captain just moved up by the gaunt screen over there. And that's it. So we'll come back after shooting and see what damage the Salamanders can do. All right, so abysmal turn from my end. So the Exocrine is gone. Rolled 10 damage. Both las cannons hit. I didn't make any of my 5-up involves. So Dermic Symbiosis, Zilch, and the 3 mortals from ton of stuff. You are down to 1 CP though. These guys kind of whiffed it. I'm counting my blessing here. With a Zoanthrope taking a wound, the Vindicator did snipe one. The Dimma though absolutely slaughtered. They got all hits, then 1 miss. Didn't roll a single inball. And then he rolled really wild on the damage. So statistically, it's hard to say because I feel like my list would be doing good if the dice were a little bit more average. I'm definitely on the downward slide here, but that's all right. So over this way, the Tyrant actually doing good. Didn't have anything. I had to spend a CB for a reroll on the tank shooting with the las cannons, which was good. These guys killed off my warriors down to 1 wound, so making Leviathan safe, so huge there. And then Ace more mine killed off, but that's it. So we're going to go into the fight phase. I don't think there's any charges to go down except for the Captain and Lieutenant on the Tyrant. So we'll come back after that and we'll see what it looks like. All right, so combats are all done. Over this way, the Lieutenant came in. Very fortunate for me, making a bunch of my Catalyst saves. So only doing a wound with the Lieutenant, a single wound onto the Tyrant for the Lieutenant, another wound coming through with the what are they called? Hellblasters. Oh, it's called Plasma Cutioners, but that's something else. And then the tank got killed by the Tyrant. The Captain is inside that building. Killed off all but 1 Gaunt, thank goodness. So I have another Gaunt remaining on that side of the table. So we'll come back after Tyranid's turn 2. Salamander scoring a total of 5 points for Bring It Down. And then grind it. I need to kill 2 units to keep myself. Or actually only 1 because I just killed that tank. So I need to kill a unit to keep myself going here. So, oh, and also those spore mines blew up over this way, killing a guy. So that's it. We'll come back after Tyranid's turn 2. All right, so that is movement done for the Tyranid. So who did Zoanthrope there? So as I'm looking right here, everything is spread out so that the Vindicator can't shoot in. And then over this way, I'm going to target these guys with a ton of smites between them, him, and then there's also Psychic Scream. Gaunt's moved up to take over that objective position. These guys moved over so they can't get shot by the Vindicator. He's just going to stand there and hold that objective. Bivor stayed still because I wanted to show the mortal wound to that lone aggressor. My Gaunt over here fell back, stole that objective since there's no other troops around that. So it's denying at least 1 objective. So, and Hive Guard obviously staying still. That Zoanthrope moving over here, or Neurothrope moving over this way to get ready to Symbiostorm and also drop some more smites in on these guys. But also everyone is away from the Vindicator, which is the important part here. So that's it for movement. Tyrant obviously staying in combat, and I scored 10 for primaries. So that is it. Oh, one other thing, I forgot that my Lictor was going to come on. We got distracted here. So my Lictor is coming on and throwing a Scrambler down in the enemy zone. All right, so that ends shooting. So these guys were taken out between Psychic, did a total of 10 mortal wounds with the Zoanthropes and the Swarmlord. So very, very fortunate there, even with losing a Zoanthrope and not having the guaranteed Super Smite. Over this way, the Bivores sniped in, killed off a guy. 2 Spore Mines are placed. There is one here and here. Over this way, the Swarmlord slingshot himself. There is room there. It's just these trees are actually a pain to use. Super cool looking, but not overly good for moving. And then over here, the Lieutenant lost a wound from Smite from that Tyrant, and he catalysted himself. Symbio Storm went off on the Neurothrope to the Hive Guard who are under this thing. Double tap down to 2 CP to finish off the Intercessors. So that's it. So only charge going down is the Tyrant here. There's no CP, so I mean, I'm in, so I'm just gonna go right here to be into the combat. So we'll come back after we resolve that, and also the Tyrant over here as well. So that ends Tyranid's turn. So killed off 5 of these guys here with the Swarmlord, then another guy running to morale. Did take a wound in return though for their attacks back. The Tyrant struck at the Hellblasters, killing all but one of them. So very fortunate there, and I'm going to get to hit first next turn, so left Lieutenant there. That's it. So denied at this point here going into the next turn. I'm 1 away from getting the ritual, and at this point there's no way that can be stopped with these Zoanthropes protecting him there. And then I did get 3 for my engage with the Lictor. Well, the Lictor just came up for the Scrambler, and then these guys as well coming up, securing me 3 for engage there. So that's it for Tyranids turn 2. We're going to come into Salamanders turn 3 now and see how they can recover. Scoring 5 for the Salamanders in turn 3 with these guys here. Movement is done, so the Dreadnought came over this way. In the backfield, the Eradicators move forward. They are touching the terrain and thus can see through at the Rippers. Line of sight for the Assassin is on the Lictor. That was literally the only spot I could place the Lictor without blatantly putting him back there. And I just want to get the Scrambler done out of the way. I really don't like leaving it. And I do feel like I have enough on the table to ensure that engage keeps going off. These guys fell back, grabbed that objective, so good play there. Swarmlord is out in the open, and the Captain has come over to get rid of that Tyrant because he has been an absolute thorn on that side of the table. Blade Guard move forward to engage these Zoanthropes and prevent any smites from coming over at that Dreadnought. Keep him alive. So that is it for movement. We'll come back after all the shooting is done from the Salamander. Right, thus ends the shooting phase for Salamander. So lost a Zoanthrope thanks to the las cannons and flamers of the Dreadnought there. So just 1 down to 4, so he needs to kill 1 more in combat, potentially with the Blade Guard veteran. Over this way, nothing happened to that Tyrant. However, that Gaunt was taken out by the Captain. And then over here was the other area of note. Rippers obliterated. And the Assassin dropping the Lictor down to 2 wounds. So he's still alive. He's still kicking around. But that is it for shooting. So we'll come back. So some charges going to go down with the Blade Guard there, and then the Captain. Can he finish off this pesky Tyrant that has really ruined the right side of the table for the Salamanders? All right, so that ends Salamander's turn. So over this way, the Tyrant stands. 2 wounds went through, both involves made. So that Tyrant has just been an absolute pain over there. Split his attacks, 2 on the Lieutenant, 2 on the last Hellblaster, took both of them out. Then over here, nothing happened to either individual. So in total, how many units did you kill in mine? You killed 1, 2, 2. The Gaunt squad and the Rippers. Yes, that was it, I believe. Yep. And then, yeah, because that Lictor lived. So I have to kill at least 2, which I guess I just did, because, yeah. So Grinded is negated, and nothing for a boar yet. So that is it. So we'll come back after Tyranids turn 3. So did deny me a bunch of points though, taking that objective back and that objective back. So only getting 10 points for my primary versus 15 for holding these 2. So let's move into Tyranids turn 3. All right, so that ends Tyranids movement on turn 3. So the Neurothrope moved back, grabbed that objective, swap spots with the Warriors because I'm less afraid of the Vindicator sniping all of them than the Neurothrope, so they grabbed that. Gaunt's overdrived, I'm down to 2 CP, getting a total of 16-inch movement to come steal that objective. And also jump into that table quarter. I think we'll double check that. Yeah, they would be because that's the middle there. So keeping my engage on max. Zoanthrope's just staying still. The Neurothrope's still hiding in the middle there from my final ritual. And then Swarmlord moved over to help with that captain. The warrior moved up just outside of my deployment to lay down the last scrambler, and Bivor stayed still. So that's it. We'll come back after psychic and shooting. What little bit of shooting I have. All right, so shooting phase is done. It was very quick. My Hive Guard shooting in, killing off a guy. Then my Bivor shot in, got 2 hits, then rolled 2 6s, and then did a total of 4 more mortal wounds, dropping down to 1 guy with a wound, and then the Hive Guard finished him off. For psychic powers, I literally whiffed it real hard. I didn't do anything to him. I failed my powers with the Zoanthropes. Neurothrope did finish off my psychic ritual, and then I also missed Symbiote Storm, which is why I didn't quite do as well with the Hive Guard. Burnt my last 2 CP to double tap to finish off that last guy. Then over this way, I did, how many wounds does the captain hit left? 4? I did 3. Did 3 mortal wounds in total there between the Swarmlord and the Hive Tyrant. Catalyst is off again. So that's it. No more CP on either side. Swarmlord's charging in. We'll come back after the combat there and see what happens. Right, that ends Tyranid's turn. So here, these guys just kind of bop each other's in the head. Nothing happened. Over this way, though, Swarmlord came in and handily diced up the Gravis captain. So securing that objective. I mean, headed anyway, just having more models, but getting rid of him is always a big help. And that's it. So for Tyranids, getting my ritual, so that's 15 points guaranteed. Scramblers is done, and then another 3 for engage. So doing well there, and then also clearing off all but 1 objective for him. So moving to Salamander's turn, 5 points going on the board for that objective. We'll see what they can do. So got some Eradicators and the Vindicator on the table, and this Dreadnought is here as well, but he's been blocked up by these Termagants right behind there. It's done, so not giving up yet. The Dreadnought came forward. He does have an angle that he can see these warriors and also this Neurothrope. And then over this way, the Eradicators move forward to get a shot into that pesky Tyrant. And the Assault Intercessors also moving forward as well, with the Vindicator staying still to snipe out a Tyranid warrior. And that's it. So we'll come back after the shooting and see if they can get it. All right.
Sorry, he's good.
Oh, yeah, you just do that up real quick. Oh my gosh. So, okay. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. So, just real quick, the last turn he shot with his Purgatorius and rolled 3 2s and didn't do anything to them before he charged. So yeah, so that's literally how the Salamander shooting went. Killing off all but a warrior. Killed 2, but still 1 alive there. Yes. Over this way, the Eradicators, only 3 hits, 2 wounds went through. 2 failed wounds went through, that is, and rolled a total of 5 damage. I made 1 catalyst, so he's at 2 wounds. Oh, man. All right, well, there's some charges to go down with some assault guys. It's not looking good. As you saw, those 3 ones were indicative of how things have turned, unfortunately. But we'll come back, though. Yeah, we may as well. We may as well, because if you don't make this, then that's absolute curtains.
5-inch charge.
He's worth a ton of points, too. That's the other thing. He's got it, so potentially some points coming on the board there.
Not against them, but he'll make it no problem.
Yeah. All right, so we'll come back after all the fighting's done. I wish I got that on camera. So, okay. So, they dropped him down to 1 wound. He did a total of 7 wounds. I made 6 4-ups, and then forgot to do the extra attacks with the chain swords. Another wound came through and made that. So, made 7 of 8 4-ups with that Tyrant, and then he attacked back and killed off 3 of them on his bottom profile. So, that Tyrant's a boss. But, yeah. But I think at this point we are going to call it... Tyranids are going to just max out primaries for the rest of the game, and same for engage, just between everything that's alive. But we'll total everything up and have a talk about the game in a second, once we get all the points tallied up. So we totaled it up. We didn't play the rest of the game out, but I mean, even looking at it just for what's tied up and positioning everything, I would have maxed on my primaries and also my secondaries, so it's a total of 95 points, counting the painted points here. The Salamanders, obviously, new army starting up, so we're not worrying about that. But just from a tournament perspective, because that's what this is for me, a prep for it. So I would have hit 95 in a tournament with this score to 30 for the Salamander. So we talked about it. I mentioned at the start of the video that I wasn't sure about Leviathan over Kraken. And the only difference Kraken would have actually made in this game is my Tyrant would have been able to hop away earlier. But I actually loved how he tied everything up there. And I mean, I was very fortunate on the rolls, which you can't guarantee every time, but he did well. And then my advanced rolls, everything else just kind of feel like with Metabolic Overdrive, I can almost guarantee the similar speediness. And with my Zoanthropes, the whole goal of them is just plop in the middle of the table, so it's not hard for them to get there. So I think Leviathan was key, and then also Leviathan having that option to do that roll gave me this guy alive, so it secured me 5 points, which was huge, depending on how the game could have went, right? And then even with my Zoanthrope, the other one as well, I would have been down another Zoanthrope if not for the Leviathan rolls too. So affecting my smiting ability on a whole with them. So I think Leviathan right now is in. And we talked about the list as well. I feel like for the models I own, it functions very well. I was really hoping my Barb Hero Duel would have been here because I would have painted that up as fast as I could to put it into a list. I think it would have taken out maybe a Zoanthrope, the Biowars, and potentially a Gaunt squad or a Warrior squad, something like that. I think would have got it in. I'd have to double check the exact number. But on a whole, I think the list performed well. Good showing here on the Tyranids part. Very fortunate, like you saw in the last bit, just good rolls, helping that Tyrant stay alive. But losing the Dim and Exocrine early hurt, but it was great for prepping because then I had to do damage control, which worked out. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this report. Getting ready for the tournament. I will do another review like I did for the previous tournament and share how everything went. Hopefully it goes good. Honestly, if it just gets some good games in, that's all that matters. So that's it.